Hello, it's Argus here, the art director for Attacking the Tower, and I have some good news. This update is to inform you that we have ended our hiatus, and Attacking the Tower is now being developed again. Storyboards and animatics are both 100% finished, and we're a fair chunk of the way into final animations. We are not going to provide a release date until the game is complete. However, I can tell you that we are finally in the last phase of development, and the game has become possible to complete. Now, that's the main point of this video. If you want to hear the long version and the technical minutiae, then you can keep watching. Otherwise, there are no release dates hidden here or anything. A great deal of things have happened in the background since our last update. For those who don't know, this project is completed in basically 3 stages: storyboards, animatics, and final animations, not including music, subtitles, coding, etc., since animation comprises pretty much 90% or more of the total workload. When we released the first trailer in 2021, none of these were finished. We actually had only bits and pieces of animation, most of which I spent all night frantically finishing, and did so all out of order. Most of what's seen in Trailer 1 is from the game's intro, which was not actually animated at the time, so we were assembling the scene itself at the same time as we were officially showcasing it. Now that didn't work for obvious reasons, and this was part of a larger issue that led to the game being delayed significantly, as you know. The difference now is that in 2023, the project was silently revived. Since then, we have been slowly moving the project forward, waiting for a time when it would reach a degree of completion such that we could feel comfortable letting the community know that it was coming back. That time is now. Each year has represented more progress than the year that came before it. Here's a graph of the hours I spent working each year from 2023 to 2025. I didn't track hours before this because, to be honest, there weren't many hours to track. This game didn't seriously pick up and start moving forward for real until I basically revived it. And I'm scrolling through some screenshots of the game at the same time, since it makes sense to provide a few teasers for the moment. The game actually looks significantly different than it did in the trailer now, with scenes being kind of remastered throughout that 3-year time period, believe it or not. Here are some shots compared before and after from the trailer, and this one in particular, you could argue the control panel looks worse than the original, but that's really just to cut down on vertices. I'm happy with the rest of it. Anyway, the only thing I can say at this point is that most of the wait is over. At the end of the day, we're making this game for ourselves, as we always have. Me personally, I do it for the fact that I enjoy it, and it's a free game. It's all going to be free on the internet, so we're going to take the amount of time that we need. But at the same time, you guys have waited for so long, and part of me feels pretty bad about that, so sorry about that. The majority of the fan base, though, has been very supportive, and we're all incredibly grateful for that. We really are, even throughout this period of radio silence. This game contains things that no other fangame has done, that nobody will really be expecting, and remember, it's between the size of stealing the diamond and infiltrating the airship, so it's not going to be outrageously impressive in terms of sheer scale or fail count or ending count. But even if that disappoints you, it makes up for it in other ways. We've found a way to kind of connect a bunch of the dots between what exists in the original series and our own ideas in this game, and bring everything together in a way that's really satisfying in my opinion. There's still a great deal of work to be done, so don't run to your calendars and mark off next week for Attacking the Tower release. That's not really what's going to happen. But we can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. Thank you, happy holidays, and let's hope for the best going into the new year.